Hello everyone, I'm Brad Voss, the County Extension Agent for Horticulture here in Collin County. And today I want to give you a brief introduction about cooperative extension, the Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service. What is the Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service? Well, we're a statewide network of professional educators, trained volunteers, and county offices that has been around since 1915. Our main goal is to reach all Texans. We have offices in 250 of the 254 counties in Texas. We provide research-based education and information to the public. And one of the ways that we do this and expand our reach is through managing our master volunteer programs. So as the horticulture agent, I manage the master gardeners. Our ag agent manages the master naturalists. And our family and consumer health agent manages the master wellness volunteers. So what does a horticulture extension agent do? Well, first and foremost, I organize educational programs for the residents of Collin County. Now, these programs can cover a wide array of horticultural related topics, from things like how to start and manage a backyard garden, or how to manage a yard, and even into pest control. Now, one of the ways that I reach the people of Collin County is I answer a lot of questions, and all sorts of questions. That's one of the things they always tell new agents, is that every day is different because you never know what questions you're going to get, and it is so true. Now, a lot of these questions come in phone calls or emails. Sometimes folks stop by our office, and these days we've actually been doing lots of virtual visits through the different platforms that we've come to know and love. So some of the types of questions I would get would be like the pictures on the right hand side. Someone would send me a picture of a tree, and just sometimes it's, what is going on with my tree? It's never done this before, and I don't know where to turn. And part of my job is finding answers for people or connecting them to the people that know the answers. Some of the other questions might be like this grass down here. Hey, I've got a bare spot in my yard. I've been watering, I've fertilized. I just don't know what's going on with it. So I don't necessarily have all of the answers, but one of the things that I have access to as an extension agent is I can access the rest of the AgriLife family. So we have specialists all over the state in all sorts of areas, and I can reach out to them with these questions and find answers for folks. Now, sometimes I'll get pictures in my email, or someone will call me with a problem, and I need to come out and actually lay eyes on the tree or on the plant. And I can actually make field and home visits. I can come out and visit with folks and look at their problem and talk them through their issue. One of the other jobs that I do is I coordinate activities across the county. Now, that's with other agencies, groups, and organizations. A lot of times we work with municipalities. We put on programs with cities. A lot of cities are starting to do programs about water conservation or composting. And as an AgriLife employee and extension agent, I can actually help them coordinate and bring in speakers to improve those programs. So now might be a good time to talk about what is horticulture. So per the dictionary, horticulture is the art or practice of garden cultivation and management. Now, the way that I like to think about things, because I'm really an agronomist, horticulture covers crops and plants that require higher levels of management. So let's think about corn, soybeans, or wheat, things that you would see in a farmer's field. How much management do those crops need on a day-to-day basis? You know, does the farmer need to be out there picking that corn or picking those soybeans or weeding them or really intensively managing them? No, with those crops, not so much. But what about tomatoes or strawberries? Now we're getting into those higher levels of management. Some tomatoes need to be picked gradually as they ripen. Strawberries are the same way. Well, let's take it a step forward. What about trees? What about turf grass? What about ornamental plants like roses? Those are the sorts of things that fall into horticulture, plants that need that higher level of tending, that higher level of management. So I actually prefer another definition, one that's put out by MSU. I like horticulture is the science and art of the development, sustainable production, marketing, and use of high-value, intensively cultivated food and ornamental plants. That's horticulture to me. I mentioned earlier that we provide research-based education and information to the public. Well, why is research-based information so important? It's important so that we can teach best practices. It allows us to make recommendations based on years of replicated research. Now, with research, you want years of data so that you can rule out if, say, last year was a fluke. With plant science, the most common example is drought. We all know plants need water. Well, if you go through a drought and these plants don't receive the water that they need and then they don't thrive, well, that's sort of an unfair representation of what these plants are capable of. So by doing years of research, you can balance out that year that was abnormal. Now, were the conditions unique? Now that could pertain to, say, the soil, which is not homogeneous throughout. There are differences within the soil. So within these research plots, we actually randomize the positions of the plants, with the idea being that over the course of, let's say, 4 blocks, that if one of the plants winds up in a poorer area of the soil where it doesn't thrive, that data is balanced out so that you get a much more fair representation of what the plant is capable of. Now, we have something known as the Texas Superstar program, and we also have Earthkind Landscaping. Now, these are 2 research projects, and examples are on the right-hand side in these pictures. These are some of our research gardens at the Allen Public Library up top and at Myers Park down at the bottom. And these plants are subjected to various criteria, whether it's drought tolerance, minimal fertilizer requirements. They're judged on how well they bloom, size, all sorts of different things. And based on this data and these years of data that's collected, we can actually label plants as Texas Superstars or as Earthkind friendly. And what this allows me to do as an agent, when somebody wants to plant something at their house or in a garden or wherever, I can actually make recommendations of certain plants. Say, well, this plant here is a Texas Superstar. And by knowing it's a Texas Superstar, the person planting it understands that it meets certain criteria and that it's more than likely going to thrive for them. Now, if you're looking for research-based information, I'd recommend our Aggie Horticulture site. It is full of fact sheets for ornamental landscaping, to vegetable gardening, to fruit and nut production. We even have a link to our Junior Master Gardener program if y'all are interested in that. It is a wonderful resource for research-based information. Remember, we want to teach people best practices. There's a lot of information on the internet. A lot of it's very good. Some of it's not so good. When you hear Texas A&M AgriLife Extension, we want you to understand that we are giving you the best information possible based on the information that we have. We teach you those best practices. Now, I don't work alone in Collin County. So I am the horticulture agent. Chase Brook is our ag and natural resources agent. Annie Tinsley is our family and community health agent. Amanda Parks is our 4-H and youth development agent. And Kim Rahebi is our Better Living for Texans agent. And together, we help Texans better their lives. I want to thank you all for tuning in to this brief introduction into Cooperative Extension, the Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service. Again, I'm Brad Voss, the County Extension Agent for Horticulture here in Collin County. Below you'll find my contact information. My email is charles.voss@ag.tamu.edu along with my phone number. Our office is at 825 North McDonald Street, Suite 150 in McKinney, Texas. And if you'd like to know more information about Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service and the work that we do, give me a shout, drop me an email, or give me a call. I'll be more than happy to help you. Y'all have a good day and take care.